Hello and welcome to the Learning Reading Hub. On this channel, we create contents for making reading easy and fun, but also to give you the right information about learning to read, so you, as a parent, can make informed decisions. Today, we're going to talk about a very common question among parents, and that question is, what is the best age to start teaching a child to read? But before we start, just a very quick announcement. On the video description, we have left you a couple of links to claim some giveaways, a nursery rhymes ebook, and a kit of activity worksheets for learning to read. And now, without further ado, let's begin. As we said, many parents wonder about the best age to start teaching their children to read. And the truth of the matter is that there isn't a universal answer to this question, because every child is different and unique. However, as a parent or educator, you can find out when your child is ready for it. And actually, once the child is ready, the sooner he or she starts learning to read, the better. Why the better, you might be wondering? Okay, you may have noticed that young children are eager to learn and have an innate curiosity to interact with anything around them. These young children are curious about letters and books and therefore about reading too. But satisfying the child's curiosity to learn is not the only reason why the earlier you start teaching your child to read, the better. Teaching a child to read at a young age gives the child a gift, a true advantage in life and for life. In order for you to understand how big that advantage truly is, we need to talk about two things. The first one is synapses in the brain. Synapses are the pathways in which neurons communicate with each other. The way these pathways are formed, kept, or pruned depends on our early experiences in life. By the age of 8 months, a baby can have up to 1,000 trillion synapses in the brain. By the age of 10 years old, a child will have around 500 trillion synapses. Only the synapses that are used are kept, those that are not used are removed. This is why intellectual stimulation is so important for the brain development of small children. The second thing that we need to talk about are the results of the studies on this topic. The study entitled Does Learning to Read Improve Intelligence found out that young children with strong reading skills perform better on IQ tests. This study looked at the reading skills and the intelligence levels of over 1,800 pairs of identical twins. Why twins? Many scientific studies use twins as you set aside genetic and environmental factors. Another study by Cunningham and Stanovic concluded that those who read a lot will improve their verbal intelligence, that is, reading will make them smarter. So the next logical question you might be wondering is how to know when my child is ready to learn to read and how to encourage my child's readiness for learning to read. We will share with you a few tips. Tip number 1. Read to your child from an early age as much as you can and make it a fun experience. The intention is to get your child interested in learning to read and books. Try to use your index finger as much as you can to point to the words that you're reading. This way, you're developing in him or her a very important pre-reading skill called print awareness. In short, print awareness is the ability to understand how printed text is organized, knowing certain basics, such as tip number 2. Only start with teaching your child to read once your child is able to speak more clearly. I understand that after all we have shared with you, it can be very tempting to start to teach your child to read as soon as possible, but there is no point in starting before your child is able to speak. Usually kids speak more clearly and start to form simple sentences around the age of 2.5 to 3 years old. But you need to assess that yourself, as every child is different. Tip number 3. Help your child identify the individual sounds that form words. For example, the word cat is formed by the individual sounds k, a, t. If you do this, you will be helping your child develop a very important pre-reading skill called phonemic awareness. Nursery rhymes and playing with the sounds in the words are fantastic ways to encourage phonemic awareness. If you want to know more about phonemic awareness, we actually created a series of videos all about phonemic awareness. You will find a link to these videos on the video description. Also remember that we have left you a link to download a free nursery rhymes ebook. Reading nursery rhymes to your child is a great way to prepare her for learning to read. On the video description, you can also check our recommended early reading programs if you're interested in that. Just a word of caution here, they are not all created equally. Our advice here is looking for good quality early reading programs that are based on phonics and phonemic awareness. If you found value on this video, please, we would really appreciate if you could give it a like. And if you like this type of content, consider subscribing to this channel and turning the notifications on by hitting on the bell icon. This way, you will be notified when we publish new videos.